before I get started with the video, I just want to remind you that I'm not a healthcare professional and I'm just sharing my personal experience and opinions about using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. So here's my update. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Jennifer Huber, also known as Solo Travel Girl, and since June of 2022, I've been using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. Here we are, almost 3 years. It's 2 years and 10 months I've been using Mounjaro. And for the first 2 years, I documented my experience every week, and I took a break. And I was meaning to update you all every month as to how things were going, and haven't necessarily done that, but here I am. I just want to provide you all with an update as to how Mounjaro is doing and how I am doing. So with Mounjaro, let's talk about the things, how it has really improved my life. I've lost, well, we'll say over 60 pounds. I lost over 60 pounds, but honestly, I've gained back about 10 pounds. So with the net gain and loss, it's really 50 pounds that I've lost since being on Mounjaro. And part of that, I believe, is because I was on a steroid to help treat the Lyme disease that I contracted last summer. I'll talk about Lyme disease in a little bit because that impacts my A1C. But yeah, and I always thought Mounjaro was like the silver bullet, but I'm going to have some comments about that as well. My A1C, well, in, let's see, November, I think it was, October, November, I had my A1C tested, and it was 7. After being 5.6 consistently for 2 testings, it was 7. But again, I had Lyme disease, and I was being treated with, after the first dose of antibiotics, I was on another 2 more antibiotics for a month, along with a steroid for 21 days. And my A1C was 7.0. Obviously, I was disappointed in that. I gained weight because I was on the steroids. And so I had a new blood test in February, and my A1C is now down to 6.1. And I saw my endocrinologist a couple weeks ago, and she's optimistic that my A1C is going to be back down to 5.6 when I have my next blood draw, which I think that's going to be this summer. So, but getting back to Mounjaro and type 2 diabetes, it has helped with me managing my A1C. And let's see what else. Oh, Mounjaro, since being on Mounjaro, I reversed my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, so that's exciting. I lowered my blood pressure, so I'm no longer on blood pressure medication, and I've been off that medication, gosh, I think at least over a year. Now, I am still on a statin to help my high cholesterol, but my high cholesterol numbers look really well. I mean, they're in the normal ranges, and I don't know them right now, but I have posted a previous video about what my cholesterol numbers have been, and right now I'm on the statin. I'm only on 5 milligrams on it, so hopefully I can wean off of that. I do take 1,000 milligrams of metformin twice a day, and I'm hoping to wean off of that. I guess it was like a collision of perfect worlds, because when I was being treated for Lyme disease, my metformin was also reduced to 500 milligrams twice a day, so that probably didn't help my glucose and A1C levels as well. And looking back, I kind of think maybe that's why I was in such a heavy fog as well. You know, I was using a glucose monitor for that time, and I still need to post that review. I'll get to that. But my glucose was between 200 and 300, so I guess that should have been a clue to me that perhaps that there was something wrong with the treatment for Lyme disease. So with the Lyme disease, when I had my glucose and my A1C tested in February, I also asked the doctor to test for Lyme disease, because that was under the directive of the state health department. When they reached out to me this last summer, after they found out that I was diagnosed, they said I should get tested 6 months from now to make sure that all the active bands are now showing that they are actively past infections, that I still have the antibodies in me. So I asked my primary care physician, who didn't necessarily treat me for the Lyme disease, you'll have to go back and check other videos about that. But anyway, so she submitted the test, but she didn't submit the right test, and the right test said that I didn't have Lyme disease. Well, I needed the Western blot test. So when I had a follow-up actually with the physician's assistant, and I told her, she ordered the blot test for me, the Western blot test, and I have one band that came up as a positive past infection, which it should be. But interestingly, that same band also came up as a past infection when I had the active infection. So I don't know if I've had Lyme disease before, but I also know these tests can be kind of wonky as well. So what else? So I've been like a total slug with dealing with the Lyme disease, and just my work schedule has just been very intense, and then people coming to visit. I finally had 2 days off to myself Easter weekend, and I haven't had that since January. And honestly, I really didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't want to do anything on Easter. I do celebrate Easter, but I didn't want to do anything. But it was just weird not having to be somewhere, and I kind of felt like I was forgetting to do something, but that was not the case. It was just that I finally had 2 days off in a row, and it felt very nice. Back, only had 1 day off this week, but I know soon I will have more time off. Just things are really intense right now, so I just need to be a bit better manage that. But also coming with that is that I really haven't done much exercising, and all along when I started out this journey with Mounjaro, I thought my exercising of walking the dog twice a day and then doing some Pilates or PiYo or PiYo, Pilates, and yoga, I would alternate that. I didn't think that was high impact, and I didn't think that would make an impact on my health. But since I've been sluggerella at least for 6 months, I can tell it really has made a difference. It did make a difference. It helped me on my journey because I said earlier that I thought Mounjaro was like this silver bullet that all you have to do is take it, and I really underestimated how much work I was putting into leading a healthier lifestyle. I was eating better than I am now, and eating better than I was about over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago and change before I started Mounjaro. I didn't realize how much I really was changing my nutrition plan, and I didn't realize all that consistency that I was making in improving my health and the exercise and all that, how much of an impact that had. And I realize that now because I have been sluggerella. One of the side effects of Lyme disease is swollen joints, and in areas where I have arthritis, it really intensifies the arthritis. So my right hip has been really bothering me. At the end of the day, my ring is hard to take off. And mind you, I had this ring, I've had it for years. I've had it when I weighed over 200 pounds. I've had it when I weighed 135 pounds, which was last year. But it's pretty hard to take off now, and that's because of the Lyme disease. It's also because what I'm eating, I can't really eat much gluten anymore because it does swell me up from the Lyme disease. My vision has been improving. I no longer have the giant floater in my eye from the Lyme disease. I'm no longer seeing flashes in my eyes as well. I do feel a little bit better. I don't get as tired as easily as to when I initially had the Lyme disease. I just saw something go running back through the backyard. I didn't tell you all, this is my backyard. Since Hurricane Milton and Helene last year, and then with this new house that came in, as you can see, I don't have much privacy in my backyard anymore. This is my lemon tree here. It survived several hurricanes, but it didn't survive hurricanes Helene and Milton, which were basically 2 weeks apart last year. Well, my oak tree is doing really well. I did post a video after Hurricane Helene and or Milton to show you how it was bare and it had brown leaves on it, but as you can see, it is just flourishing. So anyway, I know I digressed, but anyway, yeah, Mounjaro is not necessarily a silver bullet. It's silver bullet, but you are putting in the work as well. It's kind of like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz when she wanted to go home. All she had to do was click her heels 3 times and she could go home. That basically she had that power all along. And with this Mounjaro journey and managing my type 2 diabetes, I've had the power all along, not necessarily with this medication. It's been a good crutch, so to say. Also, when I met with my endocrinologist a couple of weeks ago, we talked about I'm still feeling nauseous. I'm on 7.5. I've been on that level for over a year. At one point, I did go up to 10, but because of supply issues, as you recall, I went down to 7.5 because 10 wasn't available. And because 7.5 was working, I agreed to stay on it. But I still have that, I still get nausea about 24 hours after my injection. And I did get sick a couple times. I knew it was my own fault. I ate too much greasy food at an event, and the other I just overindulged on food. So endocrinologist suggested that I perhaps not take my injections on Saturdays and perhaps do it on Monday. Well, I did it on Monday this past week, and then Wednesday and Thursday I just felt horrible. And I don't know if it was because of the Mounjaro. I know there's like a flu or something going around, but I'm going to go back to Saturdays. So I'm going to skip every 2 days until I get to Saturday. So I'm going to take it on Wednesday of this week, and then next week I'll take it on Friday, and then the week after that I'll take it on a Saturday. So it won't take 3 weeks. It'll take 3 weeks to get there. Yeah, so what else is going on? That's the high level as to what's been happening in my world. Yeah, I did gain 10 pounds. It's less than what my endocrinologist told me I would gain. And it's considering I was on steroids and I had all these weird cravings, getting up in the middle of the night, cooking fried egg sandwiches and that. Also was over the holidays as well. But yeah, I'm trying to find my balance. I did purchase something called a plant wave, which basically uses, it's a little device that uses sonification to basically translate electricity, which is like water pumping through plants, into music through an app system. So I've been posting some shorts about that. I'll do, in my mind, someday when I have time, I will do a review about plant wave. I've been creating all sorts of content over the last several months, going back to January with my trip to Alaska, and I still haven't published long form videos on that or blog posts, but I will get there. I'll get there someday. Some days life just feels overwhelming, but just taking things one day at a time, and I know everything's gonna be a-okay. And I see Radcliffe is doing well. I was hoping he was going to come out here, but he just wanted to stay inside. But it's almost time for our walk. So I guess with that, I will say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a excellent journey with Mounjaro. I hope you've been doing well, and I've been missing you guys. I really have been. All right. Thank you so much, my friends. And remember, not only be kind to others this week, but please be kind to yourself. Bye.